Okay, this is our third of 3 videos this week. So reminders about how to defend against absence de fer or absence of the blade. Again, the first strategy is if you can determine that they are someone who comes with these attacks, and usually the people that do this are very practiced at it. It's like their one move, so they use it a lot. So if you can put them out of their reckoning by attacking them right off the bat, that can be one strategy. Second strategy is if you're on defense, throw out your 7 or 17 position here, taking small retreats so you don't get to the end of the strip too quick. It's really a distance game. They're waiting to lunge at you, and you've got to be able to perhaps take a slightly small retreat as you parry and get just enough distance from them so you can make a riposte. Finally, the contretemps, where you throw out a false counterattack and then make a real or intentional parry. Again, this is a provocation. You are provoking them. They're coming at you with a bent arm. You're throwing this out, which is what they want. They continue with their arm as they straighten it, thinking they're going to hit, but your real intention is to parry. This is not easy, of course. It takes a lot of practice. And again, from this angle, it looks like this. You throw out the false counterattack as you take a retreat. So do this with me. Standing arm and then reaching back with your rear leg. So here's the counterattack with half a retreat, full retreat, there's the parry and the riposte. So counterattack with a half retreat, parry and riposte. Watch a few more times. Here she comes, boom. Sometimes a good sweeping parry or a zone parry is also a good choice. Like a counter tierce. So here they come, out comes your counterattack, you step back, counter tierce, drop and riposte. So let's try that together 5 times. I'm going to come at you, and you can pretend that I'm there and see what happens. So here I come. I see your 7 defense. I come with an attack, you parry and riposte. And here I come again. You've thrown out your 7 parry as a sort of blockade. I come, you make maybe a counter tierce in the high line and make a riposte to my flank. Now I come like this. So you decide you're going to throw out that counter attack, and here I come finishing my attack, which you then parry and riposte. Let's do that last one again. Coming at you, out comes your counter attack, and I think, perfect, that's exactly what I wanted. And you make a parry riposte instead and surprise me. You understand that from an absence de fer attacker's point of view, they want you to think that you're going to get them on the preparation. Perhaps I should explain that. It used to be clearer than it is now, but a preparation, anything like this, any movement of the blade that isn't going forward was considered a preparation. So if I step like this, and you launch an attack as I step, you are attacking in my preparation. That is now much fuzzier. And even if I do this, they will call it my attack. But my intention as an absence de fer attacker is to get you to come out with that counter attack. I look like I'm preparing, but actually I'm attacking. We both hit, and the referee has seen me move forward, so she gives it to me. So your job as the defender then is to throw out this counter attack. Here comes my attack, and you parry, perhaps a counter parry, and make a riposte. So we'll do that 3 more times. Here's my absence de fer. There's your counter attack. I'm finishing my attack. You parry and riposte. Twice more. Here I come. Out comes your counter attack. Here I come. Maybe low line. Maybe you make a 7 and riposte. And last one. Counter attack. You throw out your counter attack. Here comes my attack. You parry it and riposte. Granted, hard to do when you're not with an actual person in the room, but perhaps you understand the concept. And of course, fencing is about physical movement, but it's also about conceptual or intellectual or strategic thinking. So I hope that's clear to you. Let's go back to something we did, I think, last week, and that is 2 different times for a 1-2 attack. In an advanced lunge, you can do advance 1-2 in the lunge. I'm doing it, of course, extra big so you can see it. Advance 1-2. So it's 2 segments. This is the first segment. The second segment has the 1-2. 1-2 at the same time. That's one kind. The timing is specific for that. The other is sort of like a slow advance, fast lunge. Advance 1, the advance and the 1 are 1 unit, and then the second disengage with the lunge is the second unit of the attack. So it's sort of holding advance 1 and then a second disengage facing you. It looks like this. advance 1, disengage. Advance 1, disengage, attack. As opposed to the first one, which was advance 1, 2. Advance 1, 2. So, I remind you also, when you are making that first disengage, make it under here. You can do a classical disengage up to here to draw me if you think I'm going to parry high line. But if you're here, you're kind of hard to detect. You're in a neutral zone, it's a little bit fuzzy or gray. I'm not sure where you're going to go. You might go down here for all I know, or back up here when I'm not looking, or somewhere over here. So the 1 is sort of here and the 2 there. So face your target. The first rhythm we'll do is the advance 1, 2. So the advance finishes and then the 1, 2 is done when the foot's in the air in the lunge. Watch me once more. Advance 1, 2. And again, advance 1, 2. Now face your target. And you're going to advance 1, 2 on my command. 5, 4, 3, 2, go. Advance 1, 2, back. Advance 1, 2, and 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 back. Are you tired of hearing me say this yet? Do it on your own. Coming up on 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Look back at me. I will remind you what I just said, and that this one is different. This is advance 1, 2. Advance 1 with a disengage, trying to figure out where she's going to parry, and then the 2 is the second disengage. So it's advance 1, 2. So face your target. We'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Advance 1, 2, and back. 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 Last time for me, but not for you. Advance 1, 2, and back. Keep doing those. You have 15 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. So again, this is the principle of changing tempo or changing rhythm. I keep quoting my coach up in New Haven, you need the unexpectable, right? Don't show the same rhythm every time. Don't make it predictable. Don't always do even rhythms. Do dotted rhythms if you're a musician, know what that is. Ta-da, 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 or da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. So that the opponent never knows where you're going to come and where you're not. Okay, let's talk about something that's a little tricky to do if you don't have an opponent and a blade to work with, but just in terms of the technical and tactical matters. The term in English is bind, where you bind up a blade. In French, liement is one of the terms. It's where you take a blade and you move it diagonally. But a bind is where I grab a blade and theoretically, although of course in real life it's not that common, I catch it both with my guard and my blade. You can see 2 points of contact there, I hope. So I grab the blade and I control it in some way so that I have it, and if I drive in to make a riposte, I will deflect the blade. Or even if I release it, I have bound it up in such a way that by the time that my opponent comes back to defend, it's too late. So just as you would bind a prisoner, you want to bind up the blade. And so there are some combination parries that help do this. Although a bind isn't really a parry, it's like a parry a lot, but it's technically a preparation. You're taking the blade. The name for that in French is the prise de fer, to take the blade. So one way to do that is to do these oval exercises where if you look at my point, I'm making from 6, I'm going to 7 and back to 6. And I think of that as a kind of elongated oval. And the theory here is I've got a blade coming in somewhere in the neutral zone. I'm grabbing it, I'm bringing it back up to my 6, holding on to it, driving in with a riposte. It also works, of course, the opposite way, 4 to 7. If you're down here and you come in and I reach down with, sorry, not 4 to 7, 4, 8. I reach down, I grab it, bring it around, catch it, and repost. That's kind of like a counter 4, but a counter 4 is really based here and makes a big sweep. A bind actually goes down to the area to retrieve the blade and bring it back up. It's like going deep sea diving. So let's do this with me facing this way. We're going to go from 6, slight arc, like it's an oval, to 7 and back up to 6. 6, 7, 6. 6, 7, 6. You have to imagine having the blade caught with your guard and your blade. And of course, if you're lefty, it looks like this. 6, high outside, 7, low inside and back. So high outside, low inside. Again, facing you, if I'm a righty, it looks like this. Facing away. This will not work against someone whose blade is loosey-goosey. If someone's blade is loose like this, and that is more common, you have to use beats. You can't use binds very well. But if you have someone who is fairly still, or even if they do this, if their attacks are fairly still, if you can grab an extended blade like that and control it, then you've got your touch. So remember this, if you have someone with a still blade, you can bind. And if you have someone with a whippy blade, you're going to have to beat. You can't really control a whippy loose arm blade. Most kids your age, of course, do a lot of this, but you may be in a tournament sometime where you fence someone who's much older, who has a different style, which is really good for you, and they may be very still and not move much. And if you can bind their blade, then you're in good shape that way too. All right, I'm just going to pick up my camera and show you the target I have and talk about hitting different target areas. There's my lovely target and a lot of old furniture here in the basement. So I have my opponent's high outside line, assuming that he's right-handed, low outside line, high inside line, and low inside line. Of course, I can go to any one of these at any moment and very quickly, but let's just practice some drills, or watch me and then you can do it on your dummy. So I'm going to go high outside, high inside. Notice my hand is still supine. Low outside, there my hand is prone, and low inside, and there it's supine. So high outside, I don't really want you to turn your hand prone there because look where the point goes. But you can hit like this, or you can sort of put your thumb at the 12 o'clock position. High outside, high inside if it's righty-righty or lefty-lefty. You want your hand really supine, palm up. Otherwise, look where the point goes. The more I turn my hand, the more the point goes away. Low inside, for example, if you've caught an octave parry or an 8 and you want to riposte there, again, hand in this position. And often here you have to have sort of an angle, pretty severe angle actually, almost 90 degrees. Or low outside, you turn your hand. And that's why you have your hand in that position, because if you turn it from there, it's just a mirror image. If you turn it supine, it goes off target. It goes off of the target. So face your target and hit with a lunge the area that I call. Ready? High outside. High inside. Low outside. Low inside. High inside. Low inside, high outside, low inside, high outside, low outside, high inside, hope I'm not going too fast here, low inside, high outside, low outside, high inside, and low inside. Okay, that is it for this video. Say goodbye to the fencing dummy. And again, I hope you will practice as much as you can. I know whatever schooling you're doing long distance is starting to wind down, I would think. But you know, Even if it's 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, keep yourself moving. Be safe, and I'll see you next week.